Test, test, test. All right, looks like we're live. All right, it looks like the sound's working, so that's good. What is up? Yep, another surprise stream here. What is sleep? Good question. Good question, my man. What is sleep at this point? All right. No, I've been going up. I've been going up. I've been going to sleep very late and getting up pretty late too. So, I've been off work for a while due to everything, and luckily I'm still getting paid. That's good. Thankful for that. But I am off work for a little bit, so we will never sleep, cause sleep is full of work. We will never rest, cause rest is full of Looping Thrills commented his name. All right. I don't know how to respond to that. So, yeah, I got the reference. Yes. New video out now. I've never even seen your channel. I'll have to check you out. Oh, you listen to Testament and Evile. Nice. I have not listened to Evile in a really long time. I completely forgot about that band, to be honest, but they're really good. I know their one member passed away. Have they ever done any new music finally, or no? It looks like they did something in 2013. That was the last album. Okay. Says they've been working on their 5th studio album. Okay. Lots of lineup changes. Yes, bring me the horizon. You got it. You got it. One of my favorite memes. It's so stupid. It's a guy working at like a cell phone place, and he's like, which kind of phone do you want or whatever? And Ali Sykes is photoshopped in there, and he's like, just bring me the Verizon. And it's fantastic. Yeah, I'll have to listen to Evile more, because I heard a few of their songs like way, way, way back in the day, like 12, 13 years ago. I heard some of their songs, and they were fantastic. But I have not listened to them in forever. I forgot they existed. They haven't really done much of anything in a while, even though they're still active apparently. So that's good. Good to see they're still active. I know their bassist passed away. It says right here in 2009. I remember when that happened. So thank you, Tim. Thank you. Yeah, I did put quite a bit of work into that review. So I'm glad to see that people enjoyed it. I thought it was a little bit of a different review than normal, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was a little more special the way I packaged everything. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. I, I I'm always self-conscious about like my reviews, because I'm afraid they're getting like too stale and predictable. So hopefully that's not the case. I just try to give my honest opinions about the rides. So yes, I have Planet Coaster. I have not played it in months and months though. I do not know how to play it very well because I have not played it that much. I bought it and I played it a few times. And I've been thinking that I need to get back on there and play it again, especially since I have all the spare time right now. And I downloaded an OBS software today. So maybe sometime soon I'll like get on here as like a surprise type of stream and like try to play Planet Coaster or something like that. Oh, that's all right. That's all right, ICJ. Whenever you get to it, no obligation there. So I'll have to check out your new vlog. I haven't seen it yet. I did see it, but I have not got to that either. So yeah, I prefer Planet Coaster over RCT3. I'm sorry. Um, I think Planet Coaster and Open RCT 2 though could go neck and neck, honestly. Um, I get the appeal for RCT 3. I mean, it's a fantastic game for sure. I think as far as the RCT games go, for me, my favorite is Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, or more specifically, Open RCT 2, which is amazing, and then RCT 3, and then RCT 1. So, yeah. I haven't played any of the other variations or RCT World or anything, which I've heard is terrible. But yeah, I know I realize you do use that, Jay. So thank you. I'll keep you in mind if I need any help with it. I think I pretty much have everything figured out because I watched a video earlier. Videos that really helped me out a lot, but I will keep you in mind. So thank you. Very, very cool. OBS is really cool for some reason. It's just really cool software. Being able to do all that stuff in real time. So present all this different stuff to the world to broadcast it to everybody and whatnot. So yeah, how you guys doing tonight? Glad to see some of you guys in here. We got some new people in the chat. It looks like I'm very glad to see that as well. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. But yeah, I am not a video game person whatsoever, video game or PC games or anything like that. Um, the only ones I play are roller coaster related games, and that is it. And I really don't even play those anymore, honestly. So screw sleep. This stream is better. That's right. That's right. Uh, but if you do need to sleep, go ahead and sleep because I don't want to keep you up, and yeah. Have you watched Rick and Morty? I have. I have watched Rick and Morty. I've seen a few episodes. It's a great show. I don't really watch a lot of TV at all, though. So, nothing against the show. I'm just not a huge TV person, but Rick and Morty, it's a great show for sure. I seen a fantastic newer episode. Me and my friend watched it. Something to do with dragons. It was ridiculous, but it was amazing. It was so ridiculous and so good at the same time. Justin Clark, this is my first time joining the stream. I've just been getting back into coasters recently. Oh, cool. Well, welcome back to coasters. I fell out of the coaster game I got really into coasters as a very young kid at like 10, 11 years old. I was into it for like 3 years or so, and then I dropped off. I lost interest for about 10 or 11 years, and then I got back into it a few years ago. So I get how it is, just jumping back into things. And it was amazing jumping back into the community and seeing all the stuff that had taken place in those 10 or 11 years. I mean, so many things had changed and it was amazing. So, welcome back to the community. Hopefully I see you around some more. So, um Tim K, if I got hooked on a RC sim game, it could be bad for my marriage. Yeah, I know. Man, like Open RCT 2 and Roller Coaster Tycoon in general is just like so addicting. It is so freaking addicting for sure. Well, we talked about you, Looping Thrills. Looping Thrills, here he is. Yeah, I'll check it out later when I get a chance. Yeah, I'll check it out. Always looking for new content. So try to focus in a little bit more here. Oh, that's better. Okay, much better there. Okay. Yeah, the dragons. Yeah. What are your favorites on Netflix? I love The Dirt, Some Kind of Monster, and Fuller House. Well, Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary, that is absolutely. Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say, speaking of Metallica, earlier today I was I was wearing a Metallica Ride the Lightning shirt that I have. But I showered, so I have my Ravine Flyer 2 shirt on now instead of the Metallica one. But yeah, that Metallica documentary is awesome. I don't really have any Netflix favorites. I mean, I watch Shameless whenever they put new seasons on there, typically. I also my other favorite show is Dexter. I still need to finish it, finish season 7 and 8, but I love Dexter, probably my favorite show. So I love My Chemical Romance. Yes, I love them. They were my favorite band in like 7th and 8th grade. Yeah, they were a huge part of like my teenage years, and I still love them. They're fantastic. It'd be awesome to get to see them live eventually. They're a great band. So 21 Pilots, I've listened to one or two of their albums. I listened to Vessels and the one that had all the hits like in 2015. Great stuff. Great stuff. I need to listen to them more, honestly. But they were pretty good. I like what I hear, so yeah, no problem, Looping Thrills. No problem. I'm always all about supporting, I always try to support the community, so you know, in the as much as I can, So what what happened to audio on the last stream, and is it something that can happen again? You know what? That is really weird, and I'm glad you asked that question. Um that was so weird. So what happened, I don't really know what happened, but all of a sudden the sound just dropped out, and there's a little thing with dots on the bottom of my screen here that you guys can't see, but it shows that the audio is working. After everybody was telling me in the chat that my audio stopped working, I was looking here and there was nothing down there showing that it was picking up audio. So I checked to make sure everything was plugged in, all the USBs and the plugs were in and everything. The light was on my audio interface showing that it was picking up sound there. I unplugged it, replugged it back in, turned it on and off. I tried all kinds of things to troubleshoot. Nothing was working. I have no idea what happened. The sound on the computer was on. I have no idea what happened there. That was weird. Could it happen again? I'm sure it could. Hopefully it does not happen again. But yeah, that was really weird. So I apologize for that. I was pretty much done with the stream anyway. I was going to end it in a couple minutes. But that was just really strange. So, things happen, I guess. It's not a huge deal, I suppose. Insane Coaster Junkie wants to know my top 3 bands. Well, my favorite band of all time, they've been my favorite band for 12 years, is Trivium. I love Trivium. They're coming out with a new single on Thursday. I'm absolutely stoked for that. They just released a teaser for that today. They're coming out with a new album a month from today, April 24th. I have that pre-ordered. I've seen them live 3 times. So my favorite band is Trivium. And then I don't really have like a solid list of like my favorite bands in a specific order or anything, but I typically resort to Soilwork as my second favorite band. I love Soilwork. I saw them live in 2013. Melodic death metal band from Sweden. They're fantastic. They've been around for like 25 years now. Really good band. And I also let's see, what would I say my other favorite band is? Hmm. This is difficult. My third favorite band? Um, hmm. Yeah, Trivium, Soilwork. I'm having a hard time coming up with a third favorite band, to be honest. Let me look at some of my collection here and see if anything comes to mind. I'll just list off a bunch of my favorite bands. Okay, so Trivium and Soilwork, 2 of my favorites. Scar Symmetry, maybe Scar Symmetry is my favorite. I love Scar Symmetry. Um, Kill Switch Engage, Lamb of God, also coming out with new music soon. Megadeth. Um, I listened to all kinds of stuff. In Flames. I love a lot of Swedish melodic death metal. I love that stuff. I'm a sucker for like catchy, like catchy melodies and lots of hooks and catchy grooves and stuff like that. Pantera, I love Pantera. Um, yeah, those are just very few of the bands, that I enjoy. So, favorite MCR song, My Chemical Romance. My favorite My Chemical Romance song is Famous Last Words. Oh my gosh, The Black Parade is a masterpiece of an album, one of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion. Um, and Famous Last Words is such a great bookend for that album. It's a great last track and great way to close out the story of that album. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Um, yes, new Trivium, Jay. That's right. Thursday, the new single, What the Dead Men Say. Um, Cash Register says his favorite My Chemical Romance songs are Thank You for the Venom and all of Conventional Weapons. Weapons is underrated. A lot of great songs there. Need to listen to it again. But yeah, Thank You for the Venom is an awesome song off of Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge for sure. I love that song. Boat Rudder Strange Mountain. Yes. Yeah. You got to be somewhat of a hardcore Trivium follower, I think, to get that. Boat Rudder Strange Mountain. It's fantastic. I listened to that the other day, actually. uh, yeah, I can't wait for the new single either. As you imagine, I'm pretty stoked. Tim K says you struggle with bands like I struggle with coasters. My enjoyment stops at ranking. I respect that opinion. I think people do get way too caught up in trying to rank things, and it does get very tedious after a while. Like you see all these coaster enthusiasts getting their panties in a bunch over all these top 25 lists online, and it's just like, what the hell? Like, people forget this is just posters on my channel. And even when I'm like ranking things and whatnot, I'm doing it for fun. It's not like it's nothing to take. You can't take it too seriously. It's all about having fun, and people forget about that. You know, um, I don't do this for YouTube. I do this stuff because I enjoy doing it, and I love sharing it on YouTube. But ultimately, it's my love for coasters that keeps it going. So, that might sound kind of cheesy, but it's true. It's true. So, very passionate about coasters, and I just love going out and riding them. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the coasters and having fun. So, and I love meeting new people too, talking to all you guys and whatnot. It's great. So, am I a fan of Airtime Thrills? I've been watching Airtime Thrills. I'm gonna flex a little bit here. I've been watching Airtime Thrills ever since he only had like 4 videos uploaded, and he only had like maybe 200 or 300 subscribers at the time. So I've been a huge fan of his. Immediately when I found his channel, I watched everything that was up to that point, and I've kept up with him ever since. And man, he has grown a lot. He has like 26 something thousand subscribers now, probably even more than that now. But he's doing great. He's one of my favorite channels for sure. Yeah. Who's your favorite coaster YouTuber besides yourself? I'm not gonna name favorites. Honestly, I don't even really have a favorite, I don't think, but I'm not gonna like be picking favorites and stuff like that. Because there's so many great channels out there. And by the way, I'm gonna give a shout out real quick here to a very small channel I discovered recently. Actually, I'm gonna do a couple channels. There's one called Phantom Coasters that I found fairly recently. He is awesome. There's another one called Zero Credits Remaining. So make sure you guys go check out Zero Credits Remaining and Phantom Coasters, but also one that I found just a couple days ago that is absolutely fantastic. Really good content. Only has 60 subscribers right now. So go help him out and support him. It's called Coaster Josh. Um, his name is the Coaster Josh, and his content is really, really good. So make sure you guys go check him out for sure. Tell him Coaster Daddy sent you. But you don't have to tell him that. But yeah, great stuff. Go check it out. Mm. Oh yeah, I love Coaster Studios. I mean, very professional. He makes some of the best reviews out there. So, am I a fan of Avenged Sevenfold or Atreyu? I love Avenged Sevenfold, absolutely. Atreyu's all right. I don't really listen to them much anymore, but they're pretty solid. They have some good stuff. Um, Insane Coaster Junkie says Swedish death metal. Never listened to it. Any suggestions? Okay, well, Jay, just a really quick lesson here, or not a lesson, but there is like I'm not talking about just like typical like Swedish death metal, but there's Swedish melodic death metal, which has a lot of melody incorporated into it. Lots of times there's like clean vocals or melodic guitar lines and stuff like that. And it's like super catchy a lot of times. So, if you want to get started with some good Swedish melodic death metal, or even just melodic death metal in general, start with bands like In Flames, Soilwork, Scar Symmetry. If you need to, if you don't remember the names, you can message me or whatever, and I'll message you the names again. But yeah, In Flames, Soilwork. That's one word. Scar Symmetry, At the Gates. Um, There's a band that is American, but they very much play in the Swedish melodic death metal style called the Black Dahlia Murder. That's really good. So, um, oh, okay, Coasters. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's one of my new favorite channels. Yeah, yeah, he's real something really special. Yes, Daddy. We got somebody crushing on me over here in the chat. Maybe she should super la 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 I can't talk. Maybe she should super chat me cuz I got my super chat button on down there. um so yeah. But yeah, start with those bands. If you forget the names of those or you want to know more, just message me, Jay, and I'll let you in on some really good Swedish melodic death metal bands or just really good bands in general. So, okay, cool. Yeah, I hope you enjoy those ones. I mean, I think those guys are fantastic, all of those. So, enjoy. Be a player. You know it, Cash. You know it. Oh my gosh. By the way, this is my wife in the chat just so you guys have some context. This isn't like some random creep in my chat. This is my wife screwing with me from the room right across from me. So um, she probably won't come in here and show her face, but Daddy be flexing. Who you flexing on? Sorry. What about Peter from Theme Park Crazy? What about him? He has a great channel. Yeah. He's always been one of my favorite channels, honestly. He's great. Some of the most professional, coaster content out there, in my opinion. Thought it was one of their bots. Yes, mommy. Oops. Whoop. Whoop. Mommy, where's Fluffy? Yeah, so okay, Justin Clark asked me, "Did you have any coaster plans canceled because of the coronavirus?" I um I have not officially had any plans canceled yet, but me and my friend are supposed to be visiting a bunch of parks the second week of June. and I have a really bad feeling about that, honestly. I'm gonna be absolutely gutted if that doesn't happen because I was really looking forward to that trip, knocking off a lot of bucket list items. But second week of June, it's like, I don't know. That's really treading thin water there. I don't know if it's gonna happen, so might have to cancel those, honestly. I saw earlier too that Cedar Point actually stopped selling tickets for Coaster Mania, which is just right before that trip of mine. So, yeah, not the greatest sign there for sure. Single rider thrills and max thrills. Okay, yep, go check those out. Let's see. Yep, Hang Time Thrills, all great stuff. So go check them out and support them for sure. Did any of you guys have plans canceled? Plans to go to amusement parks? What did you guys have canceled so far? Bloop, 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 bloop. Uh, Jay from Insane Coaster Junkie says, luckily, plans haven't been canceled. Waldemir opening day is on thin ice. Yeah, I saw that Waldemir is still planning on opening on May 2nd, and I'm like, that's really cutting it close. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I cannot see that happening right now. So I would like to be proven wrong, but that's like 5 weeks from now. So um, Justin was planning on going to SeaWorld San Diego for the opening of Emperor. Emperor looks like a great dive coaster, actually. Honestly, I think it looks like the best dive coaster in North America, including Yukon Striker, probably, yes. So it looks like an awesome ride. The only dive coaster I've been on so far is Valraven. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. Um, Yeah, I was planning on, Kings Island opening day as well. Oh, yeah, that's one plan that's been canceled for me, is Kings Island opening day, to ride Orion, and then I was gonna go to Cedar Point opening day too. It's my home park, but I was gonna go there, obviously. I'll still go whenever they open, but, they're not opening on May 9th anymore, so, um, Tim, I saw your question up there about, you asked my wife how the keyboard is going. It looks like she left the chat, so I'll answer it for you. She's been making really good progress on that. So yeah, yeah, she's been doing good with the keyboard. She just, with all this free time we have, she, being stuck in the house, she decided to pick up on it again after not playing for many, many years. So it's going good for her. So yeah, who knows when anything's gonna happen at this point. Yeah, I saw just for the first time earlier today, actually, I saw Theme Park ERT's thing that he does with a bunch of coaster channels. And I started watching that new one, but I've only got like a few minutes into it. But it's really cool though. I'm definitely gonna finish listening to that. So it's the second episode that he did today. So Kings Island cut. Oh, Kings Island's opening day has been postponed for quite a while. I mean, they were supposed to open April 11th, and that is not they're not opening till at least mid-May. So Tim K brings up a really good point, and I think this is lost on a lot of people. People don't think about this, but Tim says everyone seems to think we'll be through this before the parks open, but regardless, I think it's affecting the hiring process, which will affect operations. Absolutely. This has a huge effect on, I mean, everything in any industry, really. But, as far as getting people hired and trained on time and ready to get all this stuff open, it's definitely affecting all that. So, yeah, that will add some delays for sure. I did hear yesterday morning, that Fun Spot actually decided to close their parks, and I was glad to hear that they finally decided to do that. They did it way too late, mind you, but at least they did, come to their senses and shut their parks down. I think that it would have been a PR nightmare for them. Everybody was complaining about it, including myself. I did not agree with it. So I'm glad to see that Fun Spot close their parks down. That was definitely the right decision. That should have been made a long time ago, but nevertheless, it's better late than never. So Justin says being in California, since most of the parks are open year round, a lot of random weekend visits won't happen now. Yeah. Okay, cash register says most, if not all, Fair parks are supposedly opening mid-May, but they're cutting it really close. Yeah, that's just they just said that they hope to open around mid-May right now, or soon after as they can. They don't have any specific days yet because nobody knows what's going to happen. And honestly, those are being kind of optimistic, I think. So yeah, I'm not getting into politics here. I'm not going to talk about politics. Sorry. Um, None of the Six Flags parks have said anything about when they are opening besides closing, postponing until April. Oh, yeah, yeah, true. Yeah. The Cedar Fair parks have, but not Six Flags. Oh, I haven't checked Screamscape in a few days. Justin says Frontier City supposedly is planning to open early April, according to Screamscape. Okay. As a potential future employee at Waldemere, says Insane Coaster Junkie, I am upset. They closed the office and not accepting interviews. However, online applications are still being accepted. Yeah, that is very upsetting. It absolutely makes sense though with the situation. Literally affecting everything. So quite the domino effect that it is having for sure. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave the room for like 30 seconds here, and I will be right back. I really need to get some more water, so I will be right back with you guys. Alrighty, here I am. So, do any of you guys work at amusement parks at all? Any any of all of you six people? Do any of you work at amusement parks? I've never worked at an amusement park. I would never want to. Which there's definitely a window for those kind of jobs, and I'm past that, so Quick, he's coming. I'm already here. Too late. Cash register says not yet. Are you looking into working in one? Have you applied for an amusement park? And if you don't mind answering, you can tell us which one too. So yeah, I'm sure you'll get hired. Good luck with that, Jay. Good luck. Sure, you'll be great there. So going for games. All right. Justin says want to work at Knott's probably the summer after I graduate. All right. No, Knott's. Yeah, that'd be a. I'm sure that'd be a pretty good park to work for. I really want to go to Knott's. Looks awesome. Unlike any other Cedar Fair park, Knott's is definitely the only true theme park in the Cedar Fair chain of parks. So, mm, Kings Island. Okay. Tim K never have worked at an amusement park. All right, we're in the same boat then. Damn, no coffee. This ain't a stream. You know, I have to be somewhat um I could have gotten another cup of coffee. I've had so much coffee today though. I've been drinking being stuck at home, that's like all I've been doing is drinking coffee. I've had a lot of coffee today. So I'm like I need to cut it off at some point. So I'm drinking water now to stay hydrated. So I do try to you know, have water throughout the day to make sure I stay hydrated because of all the coffee I drink. So yeah, I have not been to a Six Flags park yet personally. I'm supposed to be going to a Six Flags park this year. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm supposed to be going to one. But I think I don't like how Six Flags operates their parks. Um, it's pretty clear how a lot of them are operated. And they just don't look as good to me. I mean, some of them look great as standalone parks, but as far as like operations and stuff like that, there's definitely a lot that could be improved upon. And I hope their new CEO steers them in a better direction. And hopefully they can recover from this huge financial hit that they're taking right now. Cause it is their stocks are way. I mean, it is bad. It's really bad. So, and it was already bad before the pandemic, but that has just like made it way worse. Yeah, staff at Kings Island, fantastic for sure. Tim K says my niece works for Cedar Point. All right. Does she like working there? Do you know? Do you know if she likes working there? And if you're comfortable, you know, saying like which department does she work in? Boop. Looping Thrills says, "When is the stream over? It's 12:20 a.m. by me, and I need to go to sleep soon." Well, I don't know when the stream's going to be over. This is just for fun. And if you need to go to sleep, please. This stream will be up for you to view later on. I'm not trying to keep anybody from getting sleep. If you need to go to sleep, please. All right. I don't want to be liable for your bad health and not getting enough sleep. So if you need to go to sleep by all means. It's probably not going to go on real long. I mean, it'll probably be a little while longer, but I can't tell you a time though. I don't know. I really hope the pandemic doesn't have a bad effect on the SeaWorld parks. I liked seeing all the parks get big investments. Well, I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to like to hear this. I don't like to hear it myself, but this pandemic is going to have a very big effect on amusement park chains. Um, I think that a lot of 2021 editions potentially could be very much affected by this. I think a lot of stuff is going to get pushed back. A lot of things are probably going to get canceled. And as much as I do not want to think about this, I really worry about some very small parks. And I would not be surprised if we see a one or two parks lost over this whole situation. And it really hurts to say that. It's been a tough year, losing the couple parks that we have already potentially. But this is affecting the world over, and I'm really worried about some of those small parks for sure. So I'm glad you guys love my streams. I love seeing you guys in here and chatting with everybody, just talking about whatever. It's always fun. So, but like I said, if you absolutely need to get sleep, go get sleep. This stream will be uploaded so you can watch it later on. So ICJ says, I'm biased, but my favorite employees were at Waldemere and Conneaut Lake Park. Yeah, Waldemere definitely has great service, great employees, and everything like that. A very friendly park. So I love Waldemere. It's one of my favorite parks, honestly. One of my favorite small parks I've been to. So Justin says, yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if BGW's Giga gets postponed or canceled. I have no evidence to back that up, though. Okay, now the thing about something like that specifically, I feel like for that project, they probably already have things in place and it's probably paid for and whatnot. So I feel like something like that might still happen. But I think we could really feel the effects in the next few years following that. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe places will bounce up quicker than we thought. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, it's a waiting game. So I feel bad I can't steal your stream now. Sorry about that. Yeah, and I get that. Cash Register says he likes how it's very interactive. Yeah, and I get it. Watching a stream later on after it's actually live, it's not the same because it's the thing about streams is they're fun to just like interact and everything like that. So I get it. I get it. Tim K says he doesn't know a lot about what his niece does at Cedar Point. She started in human resources and training. She's no longer seasonal, but not sure if she's still in HR. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully she likes it there. Hopefully they treat her good and everything like that. I've never had a very major problem that I can think of with Cedar Point employees. So So I talked about this in the was it last night? I think last night I did the stream. In the last stream that I did, I talked about how, you know, for 1,500 subscribers, I just did a stream instead of the original idea that I had. And for the thing that I was originally going to do as my 1,500 subscriber special, I decided to hold off on that until I got to 2,000. Well, I'm like 100 away now from 2,000, so I'm getting pretty close. So I'm going to be doing something quite different than anything I've done before on my channel for 2,000 subscribers. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to keep it a surprise, but I think a lot of you guys will probably enjoy it. So be on the lookout for that whenever I hit 2,000. I still need to record that, and obviously I'll wait till 2,000 to release it. But actually, let me check on things right now. I'm at 1,904 subscribers, so I have less than 100 to go until I get to 2,000. So Cash Register asks, "Do you like Disney parks?" Do I like Disney parks? Sure, they look like fantastic theme parks. Very immersive theming and just totally different worlds altogether. Um, I've only actually been to Walt Disney World when I was like 3, so I don't even remember it. They look great, but they're so damn expensive. And honestly, I've been saying this for a while. As more of a roller coaster enthusiast, I would rather spend way less money and just travel around the country and go to like smaller parks and chain parks and stuff like that and ride a lot of fantastic coasters than have to use 5 years of my life, you know, 5 years of my life's income to go to Disney for 3 days, you know? So, I mean, Disney looks fantastic and hopefully I'll get to experience Disney at one point in my life. But yeah. Hey, there's no reason to be sad about that. Why? This isn't a competition. You're gonna hit 2,000 before me, then sadly. Why? Are you serious though? Because I think you were like really, really close. You were like right under 2,000. I'm just over 1,900. So I aren't you gonna hit it first? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't be sad about it. This isn't a competition. It's um. Yeah, for me, it's showing that you're already at 2,000 subscribers, Jay. It's For me, it shows. So even if you aren't actually at 2,000, you have to be like right there. And I still have, almost 100 subscribers to go before I reach it. So see, you're only 3 away. You shouldn't be sad about that. You're only 3 away. It's not going to take long at all. So no, you should not get sad over subscriber numbers. It's not about that. It's all about having fun, and the people who watch your content love your content. You've done great with your channel. So, don't get upset because you haven't reached 2,000 subscribers, um and there you go. You got another sub. Justin just subbed to you. So there you go. Now you're only 2 away. All right. Is there anything especially interesting that you guys have learned about since you've been in quarantine? Maybe you've discovered something new that you like, or you've tried different things that you've never done before. I don't know. Um, Absolutely, you are too hard on yourself. Stop it. Stop it. um, I get it. We get upset about things that we think we're not putting our all into, but you know what? Just try to use that as motivation just to drive yourself harder, but don't drive yourself too hard. Don't get to a point like you did before where you felt like you were serving others at all times. Just it's all about having fun. That's what coasters are all about. Going to parks, riding coasters, having a good time. Justin Clark says, I started a coaster credit notebook. I saw the idea on Reddit a few years ago. Awesome. Um, so yeah, let's talk about how we count our credits. Not as like, oh, I got this many coasters and whatnot, or um anything like that. Not to like be braggadocious about it, but how do you guys keep track of your credits? If you keep track of your credits, maybe you don't keep track of them, but if you keep track of your coaster credits, do you guys write it down on a piece of paper? Do you have a document on Word or something like that? Do you have a note on your phone that you just write into? Do you keep track on coastercount.com or another app or website? Do you do multiple things? Tell us what you do. For myself, I actually keep track of my coaster count. on a document on my computer. So right on my desktop, I have a shortcut for a document entitled Coaster Count. And I have my document broken down. Basically, I have all my parks listed in alphabetical order. So all the parks that I've ever been to, I have them listed in alphabetical order. Then in each one of those parks, I have each credit from that park listed. And then under all those credits from each park, I have the number, like the total number from each park. And I update it whenever I go to new parks and whatnot. Right now, my count is at 96. I've been on. So under all of the parks and everything, I have like the word total written with the total number of credits. And then I have steel and wood, and I put how many steel and wood I've been on just to keep track of it. And then also within my same document is where I keep my rankings at. Right now, I have 1 through 36 ranked, and then I also have a separate ranking for my wood coasters. So, yeah. Yeah, I like using a document myself, but okay, Insane Coaster Junkie says currently I'm at 82 credits. I use Roller Coaster Database as my source and keep them on an Excel sheet. Okay, awesome. That's a good way to do it. Excel for sure. Um, Justin Clark says, any specific coaster you plan to make 100? First of all, I don't put a whole ton of importance into like milestone coasters. I haven't really hit a milestone yet since I don't even have 100 credits. But I was planning on making El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure my 100th coaster. It's my number one bucket list coaster. I was supposed to be hitting Great Adventure first on that trip I was supposed to go to the second week of June. Like I said, that very well might not happen now. But if I do get to go there, hopefully El Toro will be my 100th coaster. If for some reason those plans don't work out, though, and it's something else, then, I'm fine with that. So it doesn't really matter all that much. So. So yeah, like I said, how do you guys keep track of your coaster credits? I would like to know if you keep track of them, or let me know if you don't keep track of them. Maybe you don't keep track of them, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to keep track of your coaster credits by any means. So we're just nerds, and we like doing that. So you don't keep yours, okay? You don't need to keep yours. That's fair. Absolutely. Jay says, next time I do a stream, I will dive into how I keep track of everything. Mine is very complicated. All right. Oh, you mean that you need to keep track of them, but you don't. Okay. Well, first of all, you don't need to keep track of them. If you want to, then great, go ahead and keep track of them. But it's not like a necessity or anything. Like, just make sure you're having fun first and foremost. But um, BJT Gaming, ha ha ha. Was that yawn supposed to sound like the national anthem? No. Wait, is the national anthem copyright free? If it's not, then no, it wasn't supposed to sound like it. uh, you're back at it again. All right, good to have you here. Good to have you. Cash register says, but I've already been to like 7 parks and I didn't keep track. What should I do? Well, I don't know. I didn't keep track of mine officially until I had been to at least 7 parks. So I just thought of everywhere I'd been to. I counted up all the coasters at each one and I made my document based off of that. I mean, you just got to do what you got to do, You're just gonna have to take care of that yourself. So maybe start by writing them on paper, then you can make a document or something if you want. I don't know. Insane Coaster Junkie says, I am planning to do a separate document to track every time I rode something at Waldemere this year. Oh, see, I mean, do what you want to do, that's completely fine. But to me, keeping track of every time you ride something and how many times you've ridden it and this and that, that's just getting way too complicated. And for me, that isn't even fun. Like, for me, I would not have fun if I had to worry about how many times I rode something. And no disrespect. Like, if that's what you want to do, by all means, have fun. Keep track of everything you ride every single time. For me, that's just getting way too complicated though. So um BJT Gaming asks, what do I think is the best coaster of the 90s? Well, let's see. I would have to say, let's see, my highest ranked coaster of the 90s is Phantom's Revenge. Or, well, you know what? No, that's 2001. No, never mind. So my highest ranked coaster of the 90s is actually Afterburn. Yeah. So, and actually my three highest ranked coasters outside of coasters that opened in the year 2000 or after are all consecutively ranked in my rankings. They are number 13, 14, and 15. Or no, sorry, 14, 15, and 16. Those are Afterburn, Raven, and Magnum. So I'm just complicated. I like having challenges. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, no problem. My favorite aero coaster is Magnum XL 200, followed by Tennessee Tornado, and then that would probably be followed by Gemini. So, and then the Bat. Maybe I should do an aerodynamics ranking video where I rank all of the aerodynamics coasters I've ridden, which would include like one or two defunct coasters as well. I've been on double loop at Geauga Lake, so of what I've ridden, my favorite 90s coaster is Ghost Rider. Oh, nice. Okay. Ghost Rider looks phenomenal. I would love to get on that someday. So, oh, also Vortex. Vortex is another defunct arrow that I've been on, of course. So, my favorite arrow I've ridden is Vortex at Canada's Wonderland. Okay. Yeah, I love the Bat at Kings Island. They're basically the same ride. And yeah, I love the arrow suspended coasters. Hopefully, those stay around for a very long time. Iron Dragon, hopefully it does stay around just because those are so rare. Although that's not nearly as good as like the Bat. But unfortunately, all of the like elite tier arrow suspendeds are defunct at this point, which really stinks. But hopefully they'll stay around for a while because those are great rides. If you do an arrow ranking video, in my humble opinion, you have to have Canyon Blaster on a list like that. Super underrated. Okay, if I do a list, I'm only ranking rides that I've been on. I do not rank any rides that I haven't ridden. So, in any way, unless I'm doing like anticipated lists, like my most anticipated coasters or my top bucket list coasters or something like that. So, my favorite defunct coaster that I've actually ridden, um, Big Dipper at Geauga Lake, I think. Yeah, I love Big Dipper. I actually don't like Magnum, says Jay. The first half is rough and the airtime is quite painful to enjoy. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to agree to disagree. I know a lot of people don't like Magnum, and a lot of people do. It's kind of a love it or hate it kind of ride. Um, and it's fair enough. It can be very painful. Some people don't like that, but I love that absolute insane ejector air. So, and I don't really find it to be rough. The only part I think is very bumpy is the pretzel turnaround. That's the only part I really have a little bit of an issue with in terms of roughness, but you know, To each their own. We all have different experiences on coasters. Unpopular opinion, Rougarou is the best B&M at Cedar Point. Okay. That's definitely an opinion I can respect. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I think Rougarou is actually kind of underrated. I've really come to appreciate that ride. I think if you put Rougarou in pretty much any park besides Cedar Point, it would probably be like a really well respected ride, and it maybe even a top coaster at certain parks. But because Rougarou's at Cedar Point, it just gets buried in their lineup. So my most controversial roller coaster opinion, um, huh, my most controversial roller coaster opinion. I'm trying to think. I think first of all, I really love the Beast, day or night. I think it's a great ride. I think it has some decent force to it. I think it feels wild and out of control and pretty intense, even during the day, which I think a lot of people would not agree with. But I love the Beast. I have it ranked at number 18 currently. Um, and also I think the Raven at Holiday World is still a top tier coaster. I personally have it ranked at number 15. It used to be considered like one of the best coasters in the world, even the number one wood coaster for a while. Obviously, it's fallen quite a bit over the last like 15 years, but I think it's still top tier and underrated. But um, Tim K has a controversial opinion here. Topper track isn't wood. Now, I would disagree with that. It doesn't really matter though, honestly, but it's just kind of fun to argue about sometimes. I know the topper track has like a thick layer of steel on top. To me, though, it's mostly wood. And I've been on Lightning Rod, and Lightning Rod to me feels like a wooden coaster. Now, Lightning Rod feels like a very smooth wooden coaster, but it still feels wild and out of control and still feels like a wooden coaster to me. So ultimately, I say it's still wood, but to each their own. Another unpopular opinion. Blue Streak at Conneaut is very smooth in row 8. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I rode Blue Streak somewhere around the back, I think, middle to back, I believe. I really didn't find it to be very rough. It was kind of bumpy, it's an old ride, but I didn't find it to be very rough, honestly. So it also didn't provide me any airtime at all, so I was pretty disappointed. I need to get back and ride it some more. I only got to ride it once because it was very busy that day. I waited like 45 minutes for it, and we needed to get going pretty early. So Tim K says he's swooping in with another controversial opinion. SNS 40 free spins aren't really 4D. Uh, like, can I ask why you think that? I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you, but why do you think that they're not 4D? Because I mean, they still have that 4D aspect. So why don't you think they're a 4D coaster? I would like to know. So, um, Justin Clark says my unpopular opinion is Viper is top 5 at Magic Mountain. I think it looks like a great ride, honestly. I would love to get to it. Airtime Thrills loves that ride. And that's one of his favorites there as well. I believe it's also in his top 5 at Magic Mountain. So BJT Gaming says unpopular opinion, Magic Mountain is not a very good park. Now, I've always thought for quite some time, and I think Magic Mountain has improved a lot over the past like 10 years as far as like an overall park experience. But I've always thought that Magic Mountain doesn't look that great as like a park. The coaster lineup is great for sure, but I feel like it gets a little overrated by coaster enthusiasts. And even though they have so many coasters, there are definitely parks that have much better quality lineups, you know? So, I don't know. I guess that's kind of controversial to me too, for an opinion I have. I haven't actually been there. Maybe I would change my mind if I went. I still really want to go to Magic Mountain, don't get me wrong. Looks like an awesome park, but unpopular opinion, Ravine Flyer 2 is a top tier Woody. Absolutely. I think Ravine Flyer 2, even it gets quite a bit of love, but I think it does get a little underrated still. So, yeah, I love Ravine Flyer 2, obviously. So, it's pretty high in my top 10. So, it's in my lower top 10. It's number 8 right now, I guess. But um what will Magic Mountain's new for 2021 ride be? I did a video about that, giving some of my thoughts. I would suggest going to watch that. I really don't know for sure, but what I think it would be anyway. Okay, so Tim K says he doesn't think 40 free spins are actual 4D coasters. Excuse me, because they can't turn left or right. That's a fair argument. I don't know if they could actually do that if somebody would want them designed that way. I don't know if they'd be able to do that, but yeah, the models we've seen do not turn left and right. So, that makes sense. I get that argument. I was kind of wondering if that maybe that's where you were going with that, but I wasn't sure. So, thanks for the input. Um they're definitely not on the level, obviously, of like, X2 or Asian Naka or Dynaconda, but I mean, I would still say they're 40 just for the sake of simplicity, but Mm. Yeah, up and down, back and forth, left and right, and the fourth dimension is the rotation. Yeah, yep, good argument. I can't argue with that. So, did I consider Magic Mountain getting an SNS Axis coaster? I could see the SNS Axis coaster going to a Six Flags park first, but it is not going to go to Magic Mountain first. Probably somewhere like Six Flags Fiesta Texas, maybe over Georgia, somewhere like that. Fiesta Texas is known for getting like prototype kind of rides. So, why would Magic Mountain start an extra 6 months early for the same water coaster or Jersey Devil clone? Probably so they can avoid a West Coast racers. And it's probably good they did start early, especially with you know, everything that's going on right now because the construction might be delayed. So, maybe they did a very smart thing by starting so early, because everybody's like, man, they're starting really early for 2021, but it's probably a good thing they did. So, and I guess RMC sent all their crews home, actually. I heard on a podcast. So, if it is that RMC coaster, it's definitely a good thing they started early for sure. So, Insane Coaster Junkie says a lot of coasters at Magic Mountain are very similar. Energylandia is more coaster diverse than Magic Mountain. Yeah, I could kind of agree with that, I guess. Not really. I don't know. I think Magic Mountain has a way better lineup overall than Energylandia. Energylandia has a lot of like filler coasters, a lot of like super cheap family and kiddie oriented stuff, and then like a few like super elite coasters. So, and a couple really good supporting ones as well. So, Tim K says simplicity is for the general public. Enthusiasts need to keep park PR honest in their promotions. Okay. Yeah, that's a fair argument. Yeah. Yeah, I get where you're going with that. I don't know. I just like things simple. Sorry. I like simplicity. So, like I said before, it's all about having fun. But absolutely, I think we do still need to hold parks to a higher standard at the same time. Call them out on their BS. I think that's always kind of healthy in a way. So, um, Looping Thrill says, "What about considering Magic Mountain wants to go for another winter opening? Maybe it was successful." I've heard that theory as well. I think that the West Coast Racer opening in winter actually was pretty successful, and maybe they found that that's actually something good to do for the future. So maybe they're going to try to go for that from now on with like parks like Magic Mountain. Yeah, that's a good thought. What park do I think might close next after Indiana Beach and Fantasy Island? I'm not even gonna go into that. I don't wanna think about it. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, sorry. Um, Justin Clark says, "Am I the only one who thinks Hyperion looks extremely overrated? Like, it looks good, but not one of the best in the world." Um, you are not the only one that thinks that. I've watched videos from people who have actually ridden it, and they say that it got way overhyped and it didn't turn out nearly as good as people thought it would be, which is really unfortunate, I think. And I think there was a lot of missed opportunity in designing that ride. Honestly, when they had the voting for the general public back a few years ago, where people voted on whether they wanted to see the Intamin layout or the Vekoma layout, I really wish Vekoma would have won so we could have seen a massive Vekoma hypercoaster could have done. And their layout did look a little better, I think. So, I don't know. Kind of a shame that didn't happen. Hopefully Vekoma gets to work their magic somewhere at another time on a huge hypercoaster though. That'd be great. Thoughts on Great Adventure? Looks awesome. Haven't been there though. So, is it the best Six Flags park? Actually, I think the best Six Flags park is probably Six Flags Great America because overall it looks like a really nice park. And I feel like they have an awesome quantity of coasters, and also I feel like their lineup is very well rounded, and also um, it's very well rounded and a quality lineup as well. So, Jay, I have to disagree with you. I think Zadra looks like a top 5 coaster in the world. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. So, I I personally feel like it lives up to the hype. I would love to ride that. So, yeah, the Vekoma layout definitely looked better, I think. Hey, what's up? GP Coasters in the house. If you guys don't know about GP Coasters, definitely go check out his channel. I met him when I went to Carowinds last year. Great guy. Great content as well. He does a lot of vlogs. So yeah, go check out his channel. Really good stuff. And he says, "What's up, Dale? I want to place bets on which park will reopen first after the great quarantine." Oh man. Honestly, I don't really want to place bets on that. I don't even want to think about that. Boy, it's crazy. It's really crazy right now. I have no idea what park I think would open up next though, honestly. So, I'm not good at predicting things like that in general. So, BJT Gaming says the small parks will open first because they need the money. Yeah, I can see that because like I said earlier, I really worry about the smaller parks because they are really going to struggle right now. I mean, parks like Knoebels and Conneaut Lake Park and like even like lake compounds and places like that. I really worry about places like that. So, what will Great Adventures next edition be and when will we see it? Mm, it's going to be quite a while, I think, especially with, the whole pandemic and whatnot. Um, I don't know what it would be though. Maybe another modern wooden coaster, maybe. I don't know. Probably not though. I could see them getting something like West Coast Racers, honestly. I think that'd be good for that park. No, do not RMC El Toro. It's my number one bucket list coaster, and apparently one of the best in the world. So maybe an access coaster. Yeah, maybe an access coaster at Great Adventure. Who knows? I'm not too keen on do trying to make like 5-year predictions for parks and stuff like that, especially ones that I'm not personally that familiar with. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Great Adventure could use a more traditional, like a traditional wooden coaster, a modern traditional wooden coaster, you know, like a GCI or something. It'd be a GCI probably, but a dueling wood coaster, yeah, to replace Rolling Thunder, sort of like a spiritual successor to that. Mm, mm. Justin Clark says, I've never been to Great Adventure, but something like Kentucky Flyer or Invader would probably be good there. Yeah, I could see that, definitely. A good family wooden coaster for sure. Yeah. I think we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves though, talking about a new Great Adventure coaster. Because remember, before the announcement of Jersey Devil opening in 2020, it had been like a really, really long time, basically since El Toro. Before Jersey Devil, El Toro was Great Adventure's last like brand new major ground up coaster. So, they got an SNS 40 free spin. They got the Dark Knight Wild Mouse. They got a relocated stand up coaster. But Jersey Devil is their first major ground up coaster in a very long time. So, if they decide to start working with B&M again, put a wing or dive there. That's what Looping Thrill said. I think a wing or a dive coaster would be great for a Great Adventure. Yeah. And it's your home park. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I would love to see a wing. I love the wing coasters personally. I've been on 3 of them and I love them. So, I'm all about more wing coasters for sure at many parks. I think a lot of parks could use those. I want to see more launched wing coasters like Thunderbird. Thunderbird is fantastic. Just Pete, my icon. Justin says Six Flags isn't working with B&M anytime soon, most likely, unless they change their strategy. Yep, I agree. They Yeah, and like Tim K said, they cannot afford a B&M for a long time. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but especially with the pandemic going on right now and how terrible they're doing with their stocks, it's not looking too good for them. So B&M's definitely out of the question for quite a while, I would say, even if they would want to buy one, which I don't think they will do anytime soon, at least. So, yeah, Great Adventure does have an awesome lineup. I don't think it's like one of the strongest lineups out there necessarily, but I think they have a great few top coasters there, like El Toro, Nitro, King de Ka, and a lot of great supporting coasters as well. And obviously they have a huge amount. So yeah, definitely a great lineup. Oh, they put a dive coaster in the recent poll, huh? Huh. Okay. And that's a good point. Six Flags did work with B&M to turn the original stand up B&M into a floorless coaster. So they did work with them a little bit recently. But obviously that's way cheaper than buying a new coaster. I mean, that was probably only a couple $1,000,000 there. But that's a good point. They did work with them a little bit. So that's a good sign, I suppose. GP Coaster says, I'm really hoping the amusement park industry bounces back from this situation. Six Flags is dangerously close to another bankruptcy. This could halt the coaster boom we were seeing pre-COVID. Yeah, absolutely. We have to remember as enthusiasts, and I feel like especially us, we have to understand too that these parks are really doing everything as best as they can. Obviously, they're going to open back up as soon as they can, and we're going to have to be very super patient with these parks. They're going through a lot right now, just as everybody else is, and they're really going to struggle. So we're going to see a lot of plans getting pushed back at least a couple years, I think. And yeah, we're not going to see nearly as many huge coasters opening over the next couple years, at least. I think maybe we'll bounce back quick. Excuse me. And like GP Coaster said, I um, really hoping everybody bounces back quicker than expected. Obviously, we all hope that for the industry. And yeah, Six Flags is really close to another bankruptcy, and I'm really worried about their future, in all honesty. So, yep, it's 1 a.m. here too. So, Looping Thrill says maybe Magic Mountain is getting a B&M Giga. That would be a dream, but it fits the clues. Orion, the early construction. Yeah, I'm not. That's not going to happen. I would like to be proven wrong, but yeah, I don't see that. Coaster Lover 2001 says, I uploaded my first ever reaction video a few hours ago. All right, I'll have to check it out. I'll open up the tab here right now, so that way hopefully I remember to watch it later. I did watch a couple of your commentary videos. I think I told you that, and I enjoyed them. So okay, reaction to Taylor's coaster parody of West Coast Racers. All right, I'll check it out later. Can't wait to watch it. So, what roller coaster do I think has the largest mythos around it? Beast. I would say probably Beast at Kings Island. If Magic Mountain gets a B&M Giga, I'll eat a pine cone. I second that. Yep, absolutely. Did I watch the parody? Yes, I did. I did watch Coaster Studios West Coast Racers parody. Those videos are always fun. That's a really good series, honestly. So, Insane Coaster Junkie has a PSA. Support all the coaster YouTubers during this pandemic. Show some support and love. All right. Honestly, I think YouTube is one of the things that's actually benefited from this whole pandemic, because I think a lot of people are doing streams now. A lot of people are just watching more stuff online. So I think it's one of the things that's actually benefited from that. But I think the thing we have to support the most though is like all the local businesses and theme parks whenever they open back up and things of that nature, because those places are really gonna struggle a lot. So doop 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 doop. Oh, Coaster Lover, blah, 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 blah. Coaster Lover, I see that you have some royalty-free videos on your channel. Thank you for doing that and supporting the community, by the way. That's always great to see. Um, Justin Clark says, honestly, considering on starting my own channel due to all this time I have during the quarantine. Yeah, absolutely. If you start a channel, make sure to let me know about it. I will gladly check it out for sure. Coaster Lover says, are we all night owls? I am a night owl. I'm somewhat of a night owl, but I'm also sort of an old man sometimes. So, um, but since I've been off work for a while now, I've been staying up very late and getting up pretty late as well. So I guess right now I am kind of a night owl. Looping Thrills. I wish Six Flags Great Adventure gets a giga. After what happened with this pandemic, we learned that anything can change from 1 second to the next. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and everybody like hating on Kings Island and whatnot. Just be glad that we got Orion and it's built already because if this would have happened last year, we might not have Orion. So we probably would still, but like he said, things change so quickly. So yeah, go for it, Justin. Absolutely. Tim K is a morning person. I do think I probably get more done earlier in the day. Um sometimes, but boop, boop, doo, boo, doo, boo. uh GP Coaster said it's getting rough out here. The other day I saw a small hill in the road and considered punching the gas to get a pop of ejector. I think we're all feeling that. I'm used to parks opening late where I live. Cedar Point was supposed to open May 9th. But I think when it gets to be about a month and a half from now, I'll probably get the same feeling you do. So ha, I got some good airtime on my bike earlier. The laterals were insane. Oh, man. Just stay safe. All right. That's funny. That's funny. So, GP Coasters, a question for you specifically. If you care to answer it on here anyway. If you don't want to, it's fine. But I was asking people earlier. We got to talking about plans of ours that had gotten canceled due to the virus. Do you have any 2020 plans that are canceled or tentatively canceled? I was telling everybody I'm supposed to be going to tons of parks, crossing off a bunch of bucket list items the second week of June, and I have no idea if that's going to happen. It doesn't look too bright right now, but yeah, the Cedar Point Causeway does have a good airtime hill there, so there's a bump I drive through every day that gives pretty good airtime. All right, that's good. Is it floater or ejector or flowjector? What is it? By the way, I don't know how many people here listen to podcasts. very recently I got into roller coaster podcasts and I listened to a few of them. Um, Zach from Theme Park Media, who I've collaborated with before, and Hunter from Theme Park Hunting, which used to be called Coaster Hunting. They collaborated and they have a podcast called Talkin' Trimless. It's available on Spotify, at least. That's where I've listened to it. But I'm actually going to be featured on an episode of Talkin' Trimless. I was on an episode of Your Favorite Coaster Sucks recent. Excuse me. I was on an episode of Your Favorite Coaster Sucks recently. That was a blast, and I'm going to be on Talking Trimless at some point fairly soon. So if you're interested, be on the lookout for it. For comments, I wrote this. Huh. Quick pop of ejector like GCI. Yes. Oh man, I love those quick pops on the GCIs. Those are fantastic. There's railroad tracks near my house that gives good floater for the first two and ejector for the third. Nice, nice. GP Coaster says I just shot a travel vlog in Gatlinburg instead of going to Dollywood a few days ago. Looks like my Orion trip is off as well. Also, a Cedar Point Kings Island trip in early May is unlikely. Oh yeah. I mean, Cedar Fair already said that their parks are not going to open until at least mid-May. So I would say those are definitely canceled. Your plans for May. So yeah. Yeah, I was planning on going to Orion for the Orion opening day as well. That sucks, but not happening. I'll have to check out your more recent videos because I haven't seen your videos in a while, actually. I see that you released a couple new ones since the last one I watched was your guys' top 25 coasters, which was an awesome video, by the way. But Coaster Lover 2001 spring break trip to Florida got canceled. I would have been down there right now as we speak if it wasn't for the virus pandemic. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. That stinks. Yeah, no problem. I love supporting the community, and your content's great. So keep it up. You're currently on your spring break right now. Okay. Well, I hope you're finding ways to enjoy it, being stuck inside, watching streams. Sorry, I hummed to myself a lot if you haven't noticed to fill the gaps. All right, guys, it is starting to get a little tired out here. We've been going for over an hour and a half now. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. I'm sure you guys will see some more, surprise streams at some point in the near future. And of course, on Saturday at noon, we have the regular, Coaster Cafe. I'll be doing episode 12 of that on Saturday. So, thank you guys for joining. Welcome to all the new people. Thank you guys for joining me as well. Hopefully, I see you in the future. Yeah, thank you for joining, Justin. Good to see you. Good luck with that new channel. If you start that, make sure to let me know. I'll be glad to check it out. And you guys have a great night. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.